Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the EGM Securities Update. Today, on the occasion of Theresa May's visit to us in Nairobi, as I was coming here, I heard a 21-gun salute. We're going to have a look at sterling cable, Brexit. Lawrence, tell us a little bit about what's going on in sterling, because obviously it's been very volatile. Yesterday, I think it had a huge surge, but take us back to the story and tell us what's going on.
So obviously we can't talk about sterling without talking about Brexit.
Yeah.
So Brexit, if I'm not wrong, happened on June 23rd in 2016.
That is this move here.
This move here.
The spike above 150 and then the collapse.
Kind of just collapse and continue collapsing.
Yes.
So what happened here is that obviously there was a vote by the populace, by the public, and they decided to invoke Article 50. So Article 50 is a document that kind of states, states if you want to leave the EU, you invoke Article 50. So they decided to do that. So now, obviously, Britain was supposed to get out of the European Union.
Yes.
So again, obviously, the British exit, Brexit, right?
Yes.
So now the European Union is a single market. It started after the World War II. It was supposed to have economic and political establishments or collaborations, with the assumption that obviously very true assumptions that countries that trade together won't fight, obviously.
Yes.
And then later became a single trading bloc. So free movement of people and goods and all that. So it's like kind of like a single market. And Britain decided to get out of that. So obviously that means that there's so much to kind of look at, thousands of documents, kind of understand what is this Brexit, what does this mean. So there was a lot of negotiations. So after Brexit, as you can see here, the pound lost, obviously, but you see a very good recovery. So there were obviously signs of impending doom, but they were obviously thwarted. As you can see, the market recovered. As a matter of fact...
so you're saying here the market got too extreme?
Yeah, got too extreme.
And then it overshot.
And then in 2017, Britain's economy grew by 1.8%.
Yes.
Second to Germany at 1.9. In 2017, it grew by also the same amount. So obviously the stories of impending doom obviously were not very true. So obviously we can see that Britain can hold its own in terms of economic growth, and obviously that is kind of pushing.
So that's sort of helped the recovery
which
that we're
is
seeing.
Obviously also even affecting the negotiations right now.
Yes.
Because France had a very strong stance, against Britain. They were going to hurt them, but obviously with the news coming out, Britain, can hold its own. Obviously, that means that we are getting a more favorable Brexit. If you can move on to yesterday.
Yes, just sure, because that was a pretty dynamic move. I was wondering whether the way it happened, it means that it seems to me that a lot of people must have been short. That you get such a spike.
Yes,
because
everyone was pushing, dollar news,
yes.
Heavy on dollar bullish after Jackson Hole. But then yesterday news came out. So the reason for this spike was there was a report that came out, actually a statement that came out saying that a Brexit deal is within sight. A Brexit deal.
This was a comment from the European Union.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So now
and that was the trigger for this.
Yes, this was the trigger for this. So now the European Union wants to give Britain a very good deal in terms of Brexit. The reason for this, it's mostly because they have noticed that it's affecting consumers more, the people more, as opposed to the governments and policies and all that. So that means, okay, if we have a no-deal Brexit, what does that mean for our migrants? What does that mean for trade? What does that mean for the people who are going to move between borders? So obviously now it starts to hit them that obviously a hard Brexit is not favorable for anyone.
So we've gone from a theory that there was going to be no Brexit deal, a hard Brexit into a soft Brexit. That comment yesterday was a soft Brexit comment.
It was a soft Brexit comment.
And that's what
so it's propping up. Yeah. So I can even show you the Euro Pound chart also. That is on the weekly. This is the Euro Pound. So this is Brexit.
This is the euro strengthening against the pound.
Yes. So the first thing you'll notice is this: the euro here is gaining against the pound ever since Brexit, and the pound has lost against the dollar. So the pound has been weaker. But now we are moving into territory of soft Brexit, and so obviously we expect the pound is going to gain.
So you would be a seller of euro sterling?
I would be a buyer of the pound. So you can see yesterday. After yesterday's comment of
so that was another big move there as well.
Yes. Yeah. Very, very, very strong for the pound. Yeah. So the pound gained yesterday. We're expecting to see more gain, obviously, of the pound, but obviously we want to see, what does this soft Brexit mean? So the next discussions are in November, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, to kind of finalize on the divorce and all that.
But overall, you are more constructive about the pound. You think that they're both going to negotiate now, and we're going to see a soft Brexit.
Yeah. Trying to undo, if I'm not wrong, 43 years.
Yes.
It doesn't fly well.
No.
Yeah. I think we are moving into a territory of it's more negotiation
Yes.
and amicable, solutions, as opposed to, just being hard about it.
Yes.
And
Playing
taking
hardball.
playing hardball. It doesn't fly.
So this is so softball helps the sterling,
Yeah,
hardball does not.
I think that is where the ball is going.
Yeah.
Because either way, we might be negotiating as Theresa May and the Prime Minister, but you're negotiating for your people.
Yes.
And even if you have a hard Brexit, it's the people who are still going to suffer, across Europe and across the pound and across Britain. So when such ideas come into
so you
play,
think push comes to shove, they've kind of the Turkish lira, I think.
Yeah, the Turkish lira. So our trade of the
And our
Turkish lira.
portfolio. I got out of that because I panicked. I thought, they were going to squeeze the offshore market.
Yes.
You wouldn't, you'd be paying some crazy rate to be short the lira.
Yeah.
But obviously people continue to be negative.
Yes.
662.
This is after Moody's also review.
Yes.
They downgraded some banks there. So I think we were a bit afraid that the market is too squeezed, there's no liquidity.
Yeah,
and then we also didn't take the trade on the South African rand.
Yes.
The reason because we thought it was too overbought and
Yes.
we didn't want to kind of stay longer in the trade.
Yeah.
So we also didn't go heavy on that.
And that is now at what, 1461?
Now we are late.
Ooh.
It still can't buy at that price. It's too.
Now
way
it's
up
too.
there.
We got to hope for a small recovery before we
Yeah.
resell it.
Yes.
But tell us about so still weakness in emerging markets. You're telling me, right?
Yes.
Turkish lira,
Yes.
South African rand.
Yeah.
And let's have a look at our portfolio, because how long have we been going? I think it's like 10 days.
10 days.
10 days. What's
5
up?
trades, if I'm not wrong.
5 trades.
5 trades between
yes.
us. Yeah.
And we're up about 2%.
2%. Yeah.
Now, we were just up 2% in 10 days is not a bad run rate
It's not a bad rate.
in my book.
Yeah, it's not so bad, but we're also very, very risk averse.
Yes.
So that means that obviously we are taking some hits also. As you can see, our balance is lower.
Yes.
But we also, letting our profits.
This is
favor
what
us.
your philosophy
Yes.
that
so
I've taken on board.
Actually, I was thinking today maybe we can also break even on this trade.
Yes.
Just in case of anything, so we can kind of
So you want to push the stop up.
Yes, I want to push a stop up, but we can break even in
Yeah.
case of any more news that may affect the Nasdaq or maybe from America. Who knows? So we don't suffer. I would maybe want to push this stop loss instead of breaking even just to that price there.
Yeah.
And then I would want to get the stop loss for this other trade and just break even there.
And tell me, if you were modifying, you can just do it like that,
You
like
can
you've just
yeah.
done on the screen.
Just drag and
and
drop
that,
it.
your computer will
Yeah.
and fantastic.
Yeah.
Here's to making more money.
So you want to go add more?
No,
add more
you want to
trades?
add more to the Nasdaq?
No, not yet. I want to see new news come out and then.
Is there anything else you want to put on?
Not really.
Sterling?
I was thinking pound USD.
Yeah.
But maybe more of a buy.
Yes.
But maybe long term.
Yes.
So I kind of have to get a very good retracement and
Yes.
then kind of go long
Then
term.
go
on the
back.
pound.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's stick with this so far.
Let's take this so far.
And
And by the way, not trading is also trading.
yes. No, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Yeah.
That's a good piece of advice to finish with. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your
It's
time.
always a pleasure.
Okay.